are...
Guard this bed that I lay upon. One to watch and one to pray, and two to keep the devil away.
Hello and welcome back to the Croak and Crow podcast. You know what we do here? We talk, we chat, we laugh. All about religion. Not all about religion.
No.
All tied back to religion.
We always bring it back to God.
We bring it back to God. I'm Spencer.
I'm V.
And it's good to be here. It's another great day. It's pretty cold out, but...
Cold in Pennsylvania.
You know what? The cold can't stop me.
No.
It won't stop me.
Well, you take a cold shower, so...
Take a cold shower.
I guess you can tolerate it more than other people.
Doesn't mean I like it anymore.
Oh.
But yeah. It's cold.
And you have on a t-shirt, and I have on a few jackets. And
We're inside. It's not that cold here.
I'm always cold.
So, today...
That should have been my... Wait, okay, let's do it again where you say your name.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm always cold.
Nice to meet you. Always cold. You know what podcast number it is?
21.
20 fun.
Oh, okay.
That's what I call it.
Yeah, why not?
21. We are a legal drinking podcast.
We're legal.
So on this podcast, I was like, pull out a whole... and that's why I'm wearing my Guinness shirt.
Yeah.
Because this is the 21st podcast. Why not? And the topic today?
Topic today is...
Yikes. The biggest Bible in the world. The biggest Bible in the world.
The Bible. This is a Bible. It's very big. How heavy do you think?
Let me see. 15 pounds.
All right, so that's a Bible.
Can I see it?
Yeah, sure. But also, this is a Bible.
That's a phone.
That's a phone, but it has the whole entire Bible on it. So, what's a Bible? It can come in very many physical forms, but I don't know where the people who listen to us, where they are in religious ed at all. So
So for this podcast, we're going to read the entire Bible. So sit back.
Get comfortable.
Get comfortable. Absolutely.
Yeah, you know these videos, and it's like the like it's like a fireplace or nature sounds that goes on for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a good, like, once we're a big channel, we'll have like a charity live stream.
Yeah.
Where I just read the entire Bible.
Read the Bible.
Oh my God.
Because people say like
How long do you think it would take?
I don't know. You're the one that would know.
Well, it took me a year.
Yeah, you know how people say I could listen to that person read the phone book?
Yeah. That's me. The first book of Moses, called Genesis.
Spencer?
In the beginning.
Spencer? We're not
going to read the whole Bible?
No, that's not.
Okay, well then would you is your topic. I was just winging it.
Okay. We'll do that. We have a few things. We have a few future plans. We have the David podcast we want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm already... There was more.
An entire Bible read. Live stream.
This is right. That'll be then. What I just said, if you were listening, was, guess what? Maybe there's somebody who follows us or listens to us, and they're starting from less than zero. And why do they keep talking about a Bible?
What is Bible? What is it?
It's your bib. Bibble.
Let's talk about it.
What's the Bible?
I'm still not sure what we're talking about. What's the Bible? Okay.
What's the Bible?
What is the Bible?
I'm an alien.
What's your Bible? You know what I found out when I was over in learning in higher education? I found out that the amount of different versions of the Bible that different Christianities have, and I know what you're thinking. Everyone knows there's different versions. There's the New American Standard. There's Old King James. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Not everyone knows that. That's what I'm saying. We have to cover all that.
Wow. It's an unboxing. It's an unboxing of ideas.
It's an unbibling.
Okay, here we go.
And we're doing it in our way, which is, it's not like we didn't prepare this.
Don't take this as fact because it's probably fiction.
What the person on the street thinks a Bible is or knows about a Bible.
All right, hold the phone. I'll take the floor. The Bible. What is it? Where does it come from? I'll tell you. So
it's a book.
it's a collection. You're already wrong.
Okay.
It's the Bible. A lot of people think it's a book written from end to end. No, you fool. It's a collection of books. It is, although chronological and usually correlated within each other, it is a collection of books written by a handful of people. And then, so that's important to understand when reading the Bible, that it's written by many different people down the lines of history.
At different times.
And translated hundreds of times over. So obviously the Bible was not written in English. Okay?
So who was I don't know if you know this. I'll
like
just...
what the Abrahamic language was?
Like it's a collection of books and letters.
Yeah.
Also letters, right?
Yes.
And things, and someone said,
songs.
this all needs to go together.
Yeah.
Do we know who did that? Who bound it up and said this will all be one?
Well, it never happened at one time.
Okay.
Because, like I'm sure the books of Moses were put together, and then after that they added to books and books. But I don't think it was in 1932, a man by the name of Carl Jr.
Gotcha. Isn't that a hamburger place? Okay.
Yeah.
Little known fact, the hamburger place is named after the man who invented the Bible. Come to us for all information.
Yeah, so it's a collection of books put together all about God and his connection and his what is it when he talks to people, like
communication?
And yes, communication with people on earth.
Okay.
And from the beginning to the end, you just learn about God's mission through people.
Interesting. Just yesterday, I was learning about presidential libraries. And presidential libraries are, once the president is no longer the United States president is no longer the president, they make a presidential library for that president, usually in their hometown.
Oh yeah, I heard Obama talking about that.
And it is every piece of paper, phone call, document, and everything, even if it was bad, even if it was scandalous. They put it in, and the president can't say, please don't put that in.
Yeah.
Everything that referred to him during his time as president goes into the presidential library. Yeah. So you're reminding, like, you're making me think about that. So it's like everything about this one God.
Yes.
This
Abrahamic God. The only correlation between it all is that it's all about the same God.
What is that called when you only have one God?
Monotheistic.
Okay, so
But a specific, is there other gods? Is there other one gods? Because I know Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all believe in the same one God.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Does someone else believe in, like, oh, we don't believe in your one God? Because it's always usually the monotheist and the polytheist, right, which is different.
Right.
But is there another?
Yeah, like sponge God.
Because a lot of people, like I said this before, a lot of people think, oh, well, the Muslims, they have Allah and we have God, Yahweh, but it's the same. Like Muslims will say over and over.
Yeah, he's a prophet.
No, not Muhammad. Like Allah. I'm saying.
Oh, Allah.
They say that
it's his name. It's just a different name for that one God.
That's why I always say Abraham's God, because it always goes back Jewish people, because that's sort of like the
agreement.
The earliest like human to covenant was between this one God and Abraham, and it's one thing, not the one thing, but it's the main connection between the main world religions of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam is they all believe in the same God. But
right, so back to the alien who says,
alien. I
said I'm an alien.
Oh,
and
you have to talk like an alien to make me think it more.
What is a Bible?
You're a robot.
What is a Bible?
Oh my god. Okay, I regret asking. Okay, yeah. So a Bible is a collection of books about the one God, and it is sort of written in stories and parables, all about how one should live their life to the best of their abilities through God's eyes. Okay.
What is this? What is this? What is this? New Testament, Old Testament. Okay, so take two. And what about this Old Testament, New Testament?
Old Testament, New Testament. So the Old Testament only ever refers to God in heaven, and he'd send angels down and something, but it would be written through the prophets and stuff who God spoke to, through angels or visions or yada yada.
So it's just secondhand information.
Secondhand information, always
through a highly respected.
Always through humans.
Always through humans. Okay.
Through mortal human beings. What the New Testament is
are they equal? If I split that Bible, would it be this is the size of the Old Testament and this is the size of the New Testament?
No, the Old Testament is like this, real big, real chunky, and the New Testament is like this, tiny. You could read the New Testament in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Easy.
Again, I don't think people know that.
Yeah, I don't know if I think a lot of these things, whether or not you know it, it's one of those things that
you forgot.
Yeah, like I knew if I ever sat down and thought about it, yeah. I would get that, but never thought about it. Yeah, the New Testament is tiny because it's really, besides Paul boy, and his letters, which is a majority of the New Testament, even with 4 books telling the same story of Jesus, it's very small. If you just look at like the books which Jesus was actually in.
What do you mean the 4 books that Jesus is in?
Or you just keep doing like ask questions like this?
Yeah.
The 4, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are...
Guard this bed that I lay upon. 1 to watch and 1 to pray and 2 to keep the devil away.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, all they were 4 of the disciples of Jesus Christ, which we didn't get to yet because you cut me off talking about the New Testament.
Sorry.
So let me go back and I'll answer this question. So yeah, the New Testament is the books regarding Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Who is believed by Christians to be God on earth, who came down to sort of set the record straight for a lot of things, a lot of hypocrisies going on. And so it's not at all denouncing anything from the Old Testament, it's building upon it.
Yeah, because weren't they foreshadowing a lot in the Old Testament about this Messiah to come?
Yeah, Daniel especially, I believe, because he like foresaw the Messiah.
Right. Because when John the Baptist came, if you don't even know what the Bible is, then I shouldn't jump to John the Baptist.
No.
But when John the Baptist did come, he came before Jesus. Everyone thought he was the promised Messiah.
Yeah, and he was like, no.
It's not me. Look behind me.
It ain't me.
Okay, so go ahead.
So yeah, so the New Testament is the story, the collection of stories regarding Jesus Christ and his life, like before he was born, and then his life up until his crucifixion, and then thereafter about spreading the word. Mm-hmm. Finally, ending with Revelation, talking about the second coming,
right?
Of in future that was now Jesus Christ came down. He was the first coming. Then there will be a second coming,
right?
Along with the end of the world and all that.
I know a lot of people who don't know the Bible. Just like if you haven't seen a movie, but you've heard enough about it through pop culture or whatever. Same thing like with the Bible. Even myself, who I was raised with the Bible in schools and home. I still like the Revelation wasn't really. It's not on the when you have a children's Bible.
Yeah,
that's another thing. You can have children's Bibles, which are super.
We have a comic book Bible somewhere.
Yeah, we do. Super abbreviated, super easy. You don't see Revelation in a children's Bible.
No.
And I thought so. What other people I feel think is like, oh, Revelation. That's all that kind of brimstone, fire and brimstone. It's the end of the world. It's the horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yes. All
that. But there's some regular stuff in Revelation that I've been finding recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you could just use for every day. Actually, my sister teaches religious ed to the littlest ones, like 5 years old.
The younglings.
Yeah. And she said it's hard because even though they're very little, and she teaches them the children's Bible stories, which is classic. Everybody knows Noah's Ark and, Easter and everything.
Yeah. But
even the little kids, they'll ask her, like, well, why didn't the tigers eat the
Daniel and Lions
No,
Den?
the bunnies and stuff. Like on Noah's Ark.
Oh.
Like, how did that happen? And then, like,
Yeah.
they ask these questions, and then they're like, if they're really small, they can just take the story as a story.
Yeah.
But if they're just a little bit older, so they have questions, but they're not old enough about double meanings.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was telling me that sometimes it's a challenge.
Yeah.
To teach them that.
It's tough. I think that's what I got most out of the Bible is reading it. You're just so accustomed to these stories that you've heard, and so you sort of think, I sort of know the Bible. Like and then it's so weird because some stories where you have like watched a whole movie on, or like like it was been depicted in this big way, is like 3 lines in the Bible.
Yeah, I do know what you're saying.
And then another thing where you get these stories where it's like, how have I never heard about this story?
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting because we do interest in our culture. There's a lot of Bible references and stuff.
A lot.
It definitely is cherry picked out of the Bible. The Bible is a big book, and we picked out like about 5 things that we talk about over and over.
Okay, so I think you kind of said it, but elaborate on the different translations.
Before I get to that, we've never finished the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So the Bible is sort of, what is it when things go in order and they continue?
Chronological?
In the chronological way. But once you get to the New Testament, the interesting thing, one of my favorite things about it is, so you get to the books of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, who all talk about Jesus. But as they were going with him, living through his life, they were all recording the same things. So you get eyewitness from 4 people, and some things are exactly the same. Some will talk about something that Jesus did that others didn't talk about. So it's pretty cool. You get like 4 different,
and it's really like reaffirming. Yes, he fed with the loaves and the fishes.
Yeah, it wasn't just one person saying.
Yeah.
And then he did this, and then it's like you have these like 4 different, and I think it's from sort of the importance of having all 4 is.
Yeah, like when you go to court, if you have one person saying this happened, as opposed to having 4 people, and they're retelling the story the same exact way. Yeah, exactly. So after that, what were you saying? Translations. So here's where it gets a little tricky, guys. Okay. Well, you don't like that I say tricky? No, I was going to say, okay, so when I was thinking of translations, I was thinking of literally which Bible do you want to read, right? Do I want to read? Right? But then when you said it gets a little tricky, I might have got a little triggered because people who are against the Bible say, why would you even believe that? It wasn't written in English. You're reading English. You're following something that may have been translated wrong. Yeah. So I jumped ahead to a defense before I even made an argument. That's what I do. I don't know if you know that. That's what I do.
Yeah, so the Bible was not written in English. Jesus did not speak English. Well, actually he did, because he had the ability to speak, and then anyone would be able to listen. Besides the point, the Bible was not written in English. It was written in Hebrew, Latin, I don't know the earlier.
Yeah, what's that? The movie, the Mel Gibson movie, wasn't that his true language?
Passion of the Christ?
Aramaic or something? Not Aramaic. The Passion of the Christ, where they were speaking like.
I never watched it.
Oh, me neither. But I remember they literally learned this. Oh wow. This dead language.
Yeah. So it has been translated through, for centuries now. To get where it is, and it's constantly being retranslated, because a lot of, if you just are a linguist, words have different meanings and different contexts, and obviously it was originally written down. Yeah. So a squiggle of a line. I had a linguist class, like a biblical linguist class in Bernath, and would show like the smallest difference in a line, and it would change the meaning entirely.
Yeah, like they can hieroglyphics. They can. Yeah. They can figure out, I don't know how they do that, but they can literally figure out what it was, and just those squiggles. Yeah.
But so it's been translated a bunch, and so now for a long time the agreed upon version has been the King James version. and that's like all the thou shall not, all this, and that was, I don't know, an English king, a Roman king.
Yeah, I thought he made that Bible because he wanted to get divorced, and I don't know. I know we all use it, and that's literally how I say the 23rd Psalm, with hath. And you can't hear me in this, but H-A-T-H. I don't know. There's some story about the King James had that written sort of on his side, but I don't know.
But, so there's a bunch of different translations, and words do change, and sometimes meanings change. And I'm not against any version of the Bible. What I read, growing up, when I would just learn little parts, it was always the King James. That's why the commandments of thou shall not. But what I read when I was reading it straight through, to make it easier, it was the New American Standard Edition.
Okay.
And that has been once again gone through, some words corrected and just written in a standard English way. Mm-hmm. And I also liked it because it came with what is it under a page when
like a footnote?
Yeah, it would have footnotes of translation, like right there, originally translated as blah blah blah. So you could make up your mind and like, oh, okay, so they came to the conclusion that it now means this, but this is what originally blah blah blah. And it was nice because before every chat, like on the top of every page, it sort of gave like a little summary line and also just like what the topic was.
Yeah.
And it was just a much more comprehensive thing to read straight through. Like I found it the easiest as I want to read this straight through kind of book.
Right.
If you're just looking for parables, then whatever. And even if you want to read the Hebrew text straight through, go for it. But the thing with translations is this. Yes, words change. Yes, different little differences happen, but it's why you and I mean, I'm not saying why you do this, but you and I are always saying don't look at individual words,
right?
Because no matter what version of the Bible you're looking at, yes, don't get hung up on single words. Get hung up on overarching ideas.
Right.
Every book in the Bible you read, you can come out of it saying what was the grand message.
Right.
Don't, because it has been translated and it will be translated again. If you get stuck on individual words, you're wasting your time.
You are, yeah.
You're gonna, because then it's a rabbit hole. It's like, unless you are gonna trace it back and back and back.
Yeah.
Like if you're reading King James version, you can't say, "Oh, this is bad. This worse." Is that what you got from the whole chapter, the whole book you're reading, or is that what you got from one word?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like the 23rd Psalm, it's the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, and then I read that like, I'm not going to be wanting something, but then there's the Lord is my shepherd, I do not lack. And to me, they're two different things because I do not lack means I already have it. Yeah. I do not want means you might not have it, but you also don't want it, whatever. But I said this before, I use a website called Bible Gateway. Yeah. And on that, which is...
You see the different translations.
Well, you pick. Mm-hmm. So I pick, say, New King James. If I don't understand that passage, I can click and try a different passage. And sometimes when I do that, then I get it. Mm-hmm. So I try to stay open-minded. And if I'm not getting it, then I go to other ones. Like, maybe something's going to click with me. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's translations. Now, what we briefly touched on, but I wanted to get back to, it's what I almost tried to start off this by saying is who put the Bible together. Yeah. Because...
Carl Jr.
Yeah, I might have said nobody did, but that's a lie. Okay. I blatantly lied to you.
Oh my God.
There's different...
You made a mistake.
There's different Bibles. There's like... different Christian churches.
Oh, not a translation, but a different Bible.
A different Bible. Like, no, when I say different Bible, what I mean is...
Has different ingredients.
Some have more books, some have less books. Okay. So, not so much different books. Like, won't have, like... But they're, like...
Oh, subtraction and addition. Yeah.
Subtraction and addition. Like, the King James Version, there's a type of Christianity who also adds more books to that. Like I think like I don't know the Dead Scroll things that they found, like different things, and they're like someone found this to also because the book was compiled by humans. It wasn't here is the Bible. It was, these are all
right.
This is all text.
Put that over there with that.
Yeah. Does that have divine was this written with someone who had divine intervention, who had a connection with God, and put it together? And there's books with less. There's Christian churches with less books.
Yeah.
Over here at Bernathen, where I went to college, they are the New Church, and they don't. They're the person who their theologue who they like follow his teachings.
Yeah.
Read the whole Bible. He was, a big time theologian, and he didn't find the books of Paul. Not that Paul was a bad guy, but he didn't find the books of Paul to be divinely inspired. So he's
clarify the books of Paul, because Paul didn't write books.
Sorry, the letters
Paul wrote letters Paul wrote people.
So 13 of the books, I'm just gonna call them, or chapters, whatever you want to call them, of the New Testament,
the document, are
written by Paul, and it's like Corinthians, like Timothy 1 and 2, a bunch of them, and
Ephesians. If it sounds like it's a person's nationality, it's
like
probably because he was writing to the people of that town.
Yeah, he went around, and so they not, like I said, nothing to discredit. They didn't do anything to discredit Paul, but they said, personally, don't think the same way that, like we talked about, like the Bible has this properties that like it's this connection, and they said they made that choice. Like, I don't think this follows that same pattern, and I'm not kicking them for it, like. But it's, once again, I think it's good to know, if you are reading the Bible, that you might,
all parts aren't created equal.
All parts aren't created equal, and I can't get this through to people enough. It's a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are in a small town and you have this Bible, and you're like, well, I have to listen to every word, just know there are Christian churches who,
are very conservative.
Than you. Who they found something in the Bible to not be. So it's all up for us. It's up to it. It's a great place to start of just the Bible. Give me all the books.
Yeah. And
then you choose, and it's like, okay, I really feel this is divinely inspired. I'm going to take this more than I'm going to take this page, because it was put together by humans.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say about that.
Yeah. No, you should have the knowledge beyond the fact that there is a Bible.
Yeah.
That the Bible's about God, the Bible needs to be followed, and the Bible's what you learn in church. This is just one more step to tell you there's different ways that those books got in the Bible.
Yeah.
And the Paul parts are letters that Paul wrote to people, trying to encourage them to do things that he thought was holy.
Yeah.
You can or cannot decide if you want to follow that.
Yeah, and we're just bringing up the Paul books because
I just learned it.
Because that's something that I actually learned. It was the first forever. I was like, there's one Bible, and everything in it is divine.
Right.
And I'm still not saying it's not. Right. I'm just saying it opened my eyes to just the whole, like what I said earlier. It's one of these things that but you don't really think about.
Right.
It's when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, and then that's one other reason.
Right.
It got me pretty mad when they left the books of Paul out, just as growing up Catholic, and that's just sort of like, anyone doing anything different, you're doing it wrong. And that was like, oh, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? And so I was like, you know what? I'm defending something once again that I did not read. And so I read the whole thing, and I felt what really pulled me in, and what inspired me, and what didn't. And yeah.
Just like when you go to church and you're listening, and sometimes you're really going to connect with what the pastor is saying, and other times you're going to, that message isn't for me.
Yeah.
I always feel when people try to say that the Bible can't possibly be accurate at this point.
Yeah.
In 2020.
Yeah.
I disagree. It's my own personal opinion, because I feel that it is a protected thing. And it's a wholly protected thing. And since I don't need to know what the original word was and what that word was, and that therefore means that I can't shop on Thursdays, I feel that the main message was protected,
and that's,
and will continue to be protected.
And that's sort of the same as what I was saying about the don't follow individual words. It's the Bible. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a divine book.
Yes.
And you can tear pages out. You can add pages, but if you just, I don't know, I'm not saying add pages to the Bible, but I'm saying, or tear them out. But what I am saying is, what you can't take away from the Bible in any translation, in anything, obviously if you do it in cruel intent, but the overarching themes will always be there, and in any language, in any time period, you will understand how it relates to your life. Yes, yeah. You might not be like harvesting grain and shearing sheep, but that's once you're looking at the words, like, you got to look at the meanings behind the words.
Yeah.
Can I get an amen?
Amen. I don't mind, like, you were a little nervous there. You just said, I don't say to tear a page out of a Bible. If you stay around long with me, you will find out that
You tear pages of the Bible.
I'm super agreeable to things. I think, I truly, truly believe that we're children of God, saved by God, by Jesus, loved, and will return to him and protected. So yesterday we joked about music, and I said, like, oh, if you're doing what's her name, Cardi B's song, would they want that? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're singing an inappropriate song, if you're dancing in an inappropriate way, and it doesn't matter if you burnt the Bible. Okay, I don't suggest it. But I'm
trigger warning.
I'm saying I'm not sure of God that if the Bible, it's paper and words. It is protected, but there's another one. Yeah. And it's a message to me. But when I was little, I had a littler brother. I still do, but he's taller. But anyway, he took the Bible and he scooped out the middle. When you want to hide your treasures, he was little, so I don't even know if he knew it was the Bible. But he did this in a, this kind of spy way. Yeah. Well, I was little and I was horrified. Catholic school, horrified. And I thought, he's going to hell. We're going to hell. This is horrendous. I went to my mom. I was like, look what he did. Well, what can we do? And she was like, calm down. It's okay. Like, I'm not happy that the book was ruined, but he did it. He didn't do it maliciously. Yeah. And it's just paper, and we can get another one. And so, and as for adding things to the Bible, I get inspired. I get connected to God from other things that aren't the Bible. So, like, if I see a poem by somebody or something from Shakespeare or something, even rap lyrics, I'm not kidding. A recipe, anything. Yeah. You could stick that in your Bible, like anything that's keeping you close to God. Mm-hmm. Don't be. I think I am not worried when somebody says they listen to this type of music, or they read this kind of book or see this kind of movie. Because this journey, the most important connection to God is a singular acknowledgement. And then for people who want to go super religious, and go in these super religious lives, it's a different story. And then they want to reduce what they're watching and eating and doing and But I think we're talking to regular people. Yeah, but even if we're not, like, once again, that's a personal choice. It's personal choice. And you want, like, remember we talked about the self, like, infliction of and we were saying where that gets dangerous is when you're passing on these beliefs. Right. But with that, it's a personal choice, and you understand that of, I'm not doing this, but and so you're making that conscious choice rather than just saying, oh, I have to do this because this is what I'm told to do. Right. But if you always remember that things of the world are things of the world. Yeah, we talked about that in what podcast was that? I don't know. We talked about this, and you talked about a cross and urine. Oh, yeah. Maplethorpe. Yeah, but it's just like, they'll fall away. Don't put value in material things. Right. Like, don't put value in wood
of a cross or in paper. And the meaning that's behind what the words represent, the ideas it represents, that can't be burned. No way, no how.
That's right. It can't be burned because look at all the people that tried to burn.
They tried.
Brought Bibles and
They
tried
gave
to
it the old college try.
Yeah, and tried to stop people from being religious and acting in religious ways. And it's just like our stupid yard where we tried to kill.
It's not stupid.
that dumb plot out there.
Yeah.
Where no matter what we do, we try to cover it with cardboard, rubber,
Kill with fire,
rocks, weed killer,
urine.
Now, well, I don't know what you've been doing, but
didn't work.
The sun reaches it.
Yeah.
The water comes from underneath, and then we get these big weeds, plants coming up, and the word of God can't be squelched.
Can't be stopped.
If someone burns a Bible or somebody. If a new, we don't speak the language they used to speak anymore. Yeah. It's so powerful.
So powerful.
And the best way you can make the Bible continue to live is to talk about the Bible.
Talk about it. Be about it. Live like the Bible.
Yeah.
Teaches. Yeah, and I just think that's what's so important, and I think this is a message to all you Bible readers out there, because I get Bible readers on my Instagram and stuff, and they do push these individual lines and stuff, and it's like, my recommendation to people that read the Bible is you did the footwork. Now push forward the deeper meaning, because let people have ears hear him and all, but I feel like for a lot of people, they just hear these words, and it's like, if you were inspired and you were like, oh, I read the whole thing, I got what that means, push that. Push living a good life.
Yeah.
Push like how the Bible represents love, because I feel like too much it's just, this line says this, and it's
right.
Like,
yeah, you don't want to
get, like, give me the spark notes for the whole book, not an individual line. And
you don't want to prioritize some words on a page over the beautiful, amazing gift of a human being with a brain and thoughts and creativity. I saw something on Instagram and it said, "Don't give me your opinion. Like, just follow the word of God." And I was like, "What do you mean? We are the word of God."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're all here to learn from each other, and just keep on keeping on. Live a good life.
I was at a flea market and I saw a Bible and I wanted to buy it, and
why didn't you? Someone stole my Bible.
Are you serious?
Well, someone in the house.
Oh, you lost it. I have a lot of Bibles floating around, but all I use is my phone, because that's another thing. Somebody wrote on the Instagram, can you imagine if we held our Bibles as much as we hold our phones and go back for it when you forgot it at the house and worry about it when you lost it? And I was like, well, the Bible's on my phone, so
yeah,
The
Bible doesn't have Instagram on it.
But anyway, I was at the flea market and I said, "Oh, I want the Bible," and she's like, "Just take it." And I said, "Oh," and she goes, "You're not supposed to sell a Bible." But of course, Barnes and Noble sells Bibles, but maybe she just meant like.
That was nice of her.
It was nice of her.
The Bible is the #1 most stolen book in the world.
Really?
Yeah. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Good. I guess you want it, and then you think, well, I won't be judged because I need it.
Well, yeah, but if you think about it, also, it's the one most consistent book in the world.
Oh, right, that they could have kept track of.
Yeah, like Twilight, I'm sure, was stolen a lot, but for the 5 years that it was...
Yeah.
It was relevant.
Remember those Bibles in the hotel rooms?
Yeah, they're not still
I don't think they do it anymore.
What if your hotel's haunted?
It wasn't because the hotel was haunted.
What was it?
Now I can't remember who puts out the Bibles, but
I thought it was like, in case your hotel was haunted.
Are you kidding me?
No, I think I saw it in like a scary movie.
That's really funny. No, Bibles in hotels, I can't think, now it's as usual.
What are you trying to think of?
Whoever does it, like Little Sisters of the Poor. I don't know.
Oh, wait, the hotel doesn't do it?
No.
I obviously don't know anything about this tradition. So
Bible.
People just go to hotels and drop Bibles?
Yeah.
And Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
And hotels aren't the ones doing it?
No, they're like, "Go ahead. Okay, fine." And it's a known thing, and I can't remember who does it.
I don't
And
think
they
so.
supply hotels, and everybody, and the hotel puts it in everyone's side table. But I remember reading recently, like when I say recently, I think like a year ago maybe, or I could be wrong because whatever. And they said, guess what? And I can't remember the name of the organization. We're not doing it anymore. If you opened the Bible, you would see and that's
I never
why
got that far.
you just looked at it.
Well, I just knew it was there. Yeah, I would open the drawer and say, "Oh, look, there's a Bible there," because there always is. That's why I thought it was just like a tradition that hotels have.
No, it was a tradition to accept the fact that the people, can I put a Bible in your hotel? And you're like, sure.
Do you wanna?
There's different charities that quite a few charities that make sure that the world has access to Bibles. Different languages and countries and
yeah, Bibles are expensive at old
hotels.
Barnes and Noble. I get why people steal them. Like $30.
Well, because they make a nice gift.
Yeah, and they're like always bound nicely. And
yeah,
stuff.
and the one we have, this is a super serious Bible, which is too big to use, but it does have pretty pictures. But it has the part of the page.
It has like a.
For I'm sorry, right here. In the old days, you can't see because the light's too bright, but in the old days, this was a record of your family. So in here, you would put, like, they didn't have marriage certificates and birth certificates and christening certificates. Everything was in the family Bible. So you would have in here the names of the babies that were born and everything. So, and then you'd pass it down. And this is supposed to be that kind, but we never filled it out because whatever. But yeah.
Well,
oopsie. Dropped it.
the Bible.
Okay.
Well, that's the Bible in a nutshell. A 40-minute nutshell.
So refer back to it if we mention it in
Refer back to
the
it.
future.
Go out and get yourself a Bible.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what edition. I personally recommend the New American Standard. I just think it's the most comprehensive and easiest to get into, because a big tackle to get into the Bible. I know I'm wrapping up and I'm starting a new conversation.
That's okay.
A big tackle with the Bible is just get it, like that King James version is just it's difficult for me to read one page. Like, I'm using a lot of brain capacity to just get through understanding.
It's not like a normal
the
book.
thous and men. So I recommend the New American Standard. It was worked on by a lot of people to keep the accuracy whilst making it easy to read. But read whatever Bible you want. Read the comic book Bible. That's actually a good one. I do recommend that one too.
And a paper Bible is more fun when you want to
scribble on it.
Yeah, highlight it,
doodle,
or put bookmarks or paper,
or doodle,
or dig it out to hide your valuables. Derek, I'm talking to you.
All right, but that was it. That was our 21st episode of the podcast.
Yep.
Which is awesome. What day is it?
21st century.
21st. I don't know if I'm in Florida right now. I might be in Florida right now. I might not.
Hi.
But either way, we'll still be posting podcasts.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Alright, y'all. It's been real. It's been fun. But it has not been real fun.
Yes, it has.
Like, subscribe, read the Bible, and share. Peace!